I have nothing.
I see you went scenic on this one.
Yeah, I am out of my element today.
A very colorful element you have, though. I really like the different colors. Brings out your eyes.
Yeah, that does kind of make them pop. Then I got the green and the blue. There's yellow up front. It's a Crayola box in here.
Welcome everybody to Zia Comic Weekly. Of course, where we're here to tell you about the different colors of the rainbow from the perspective of Troy. uh, okay, so where are you?
Alamogordo, the Alamogordo location. I'm putting together shelves and stuff like you see in the background, and I'm waiting on CenturyLink to come install the internet. I'm waiting on delivery of shelves so I can put more stuff together. I already talked to the contractor this morning about the stucco and fixing a couple other little things around here. So we're getting closer to opening.
Man, it's crazy to see just the behind the scenes. It's like the making of the beef jerky back there. It's like, oh, this is how it all goes down. As much as we've talked about it, now we get a firsthand view of it.
Yeah, you just didn't get the part with me cussing, putting things together, dropping things, and trying
Oh,
to find those little bitty screws on the floor.
that's for the OnlyFans version. You're gonna get the explicit content on that one.
Ooh, yeah, that'll be on my Patreon.
There you go, Patreon for that one. So y'all check out Zia Comics on Patreon for the explicit of why is this screw on the floor?
Son of a
Yeah. See, I need to get a beat button for us for this. So
yeah. They might be
good.
disappointed if I put it on OnlyFans. What's that guy doing with clothes on?
Right, they're gonna be asking for something else. Like, what's going on here? So
can I what? No.
It's like for $5? No, thank you. That's
make
not
it
worth it. 10 and you got it. 10 and you got it. Now send photos to your mailbox.
Yeah, I got a supersize.
Oh, there you go. Oh man, so Alamogordo, what's been the latest? Obviously, with everything going, and I know you guys are really trying to get to that deadline for the new comic for Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah, we're trying. Like I said, now I'm just waiting on getting all the fixtures. Most of them are supposed to arrive today. I put those two in the background. You see, I put those together today, and there's another one over on the other side you don't see. Once I get all those shelves put together, I got to get the POS system, which is point of sale for you people. Get your mind out of the gutter.
I was like, wait a minute, this is another Patreon word.
So yeah, get that hooked up, and then I can transfer product between stores. Then start ordering some stuff here for the store, and hopefully get opened.
Oh boy! So, and you're just a busy guy today, and very colorful. I mean, you know what? It's got to feel good though, because you got different colors going on in the room, so it's got to be a little bit of a stress reliever.
Yeah. I mean, we did the different colors at Zia, but it doesn't stand out as much because they're so spread out. So it's such a bigger store.
Yeah.
This one, it's a little smaller, so the colors are jammed together.
I just realized your walls look like my sign.
Oh yeah. I don't have red. I didn't do a red one though.
Okay, then hold on. Let's there you go.
Oi.
Oi. Oh man. Well, there's a lot to get to today. I got to start off with, have you seen Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania?
Oh man, I still haven't seen Avatar.
Oh, I know. I haven't seen Avatar yet either. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is out now. Looking at, some early reports, and with it now being out for a week, didn't perform as well as many thought it was going to in the box office. So I believe 50 million is how much it made here domestically. It did reach over 100 internationally, but yeah, only 50 million here, which is quite low for a Marvel movie.
Yeah, and I know it got a tomato rating of right around what the Eternals did. But everybody griped about the Eternals until it's been out for a year, and now people are starting to flip their view, and they're starting to see, hey, Eternals really wasn't a bad movie.
Yeah, and I think that's where Disney Plus is going to help them a lot, because for those that went and saw the Eternals and were just like, oh, this isn't good, you get to now, in the comfort of your home, go back and watch and be like, you know what, this is a pretty good, solid movie.
Yeah, and Kevin Feige even said, they've been trying to do too much this past couple of years. They're going to scale back. Only a couple, one or two series and maybe one or two movies a year instead of dumping, this unwatchable amount of stuff on us.
And I won't give too much spoilers, but like you just said, they want to scale it back a little bit. I think that's what Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania did. They didn't go too much. They scaled it back to where they kind of stuck to the storyline that they needed to. And I think this was ultimately for the purpose to be able to get to where they're going to go to. I mean, obviously, we know the new big bad is going to be, you know, with Kang. I mean, we know that's the new big bad. So I think they just did a really good job of making sure that they know what direction we're going into.
Yeah, and I've heard a couple spoilers about the movie, and we get to see different versions of Kang as well. So because he is a multiversal type character, he's bad in pretty much every existence of the timeline.
Yeah, and it was funny. There's a TikTok going around right now where they said someone needs to tell the actor that plays Kang that he wasn't on the set of Creed when he was beating up Ant-Man. They need to remind him, like, hey, wrong movie. Like, you don't need to whoop him that bad. So
Yeah, but Kang doesn't play around either. So
yeah,
I have no problem with him whooping up on Paul Rudd.
yeah, no, it's definitely one to check out, and I think this is going to be one of those movies, just like you said, the Internals. When it goes to the streaming services, it's going to be one that people will go back and say, "Yep, that's where everything started off," and that's where we're going to lead into the next phase. But it does lead to the question, and I've been seeing a lot of things posted as of late. Are we reaching superhero fatigue? So there was a couple of articles out there that are talking about, with so much, comic book movies, have we reached a point of superhero fatigue in the theaters?
I've always said that a good story is a good story, regardless of the what setting it's in,
Mhm.
because there's only so many stories you can tell. It's just the settings and the characters that change. I think it's the writing. I don't think it's the superhero fatigue. I think they got lazy with the writing a lot of times, because how many times is Marvel and even Star Wars brought you this awesome, awesome villain, and an hour and a half later they kill him at the end of the movie?
Yeah. It's true, though. You mentioned this last week, though, because it's like we know what's going to ultimately end this movie. Like, oh, yep, the good guy won.
Yeah, yeah, and spoilers from what I've read, Ant-Man doesn't die.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it's just but that's the superhero way. This happens, you got this big moment, this big battle, and then next thing you know, it leads into the next thing. So, but many are saying that you're right. I think it's down to the writing. Like, how are you going to bring these to life? And yes, they can rely on the comic book, but are you gonna bring something that unique flavor that gets us going to the movies? And let's be honest, I mean, the very first Iron Man was a good movie. Can you ultimately say that it was like the best thing ever when it came out? Like what, 12 years ago?
Oh, has it been that long?
It's been a long time. The only reason I've mentioned that one because it was on TV last night and I was watching it. I was like, it's a good movie, but man, have they come a long way.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's only been a couple of superhero characters that have gotten their trilogy, and believe it or not, Ant-Man got his trilogy before a lot of the others.
Yeah, no,
Um,
it's true.
yeah, but the good thing is they can cast Paul Rudd for the next 20 or 30 years because the man doesn't age.
I did see something on I think it was the Tonight Show where they were comparing Men's Health magazine between him and the guy who plays Kang, two totally different magazines. And it was just like they were just kind of like, we can't really have him work out. We'll just kind of have him standing behind a wall. Meanwhile, the other guy is upside down and doing, sit-ups. And it's like, yeah, they're two totally different characters. But it's just, I don't know, man. It was a good movie. I didn't mind it. But once again, it's for, a bigger storyline that we'll see down the line.
Oh, so you did go see it?
Yeah, we went and saw it Monday. Monday, we got a chance to see it. I had to
Nice.
see it because I was worried that TikTok would spoil it. So,
uh, so you do get to see a bunch of the other Kangs then.
yes, and it explains that whole, the timeline. It's going to explain it a little bit better for those that are like, well, why is there so many variants and what's this and it'll explain a little bit. It'll kind of bring everything together. And then one of the big things was they were upset that was it Luis, the guy who always recaps things? Yeah, he
Yeah.
wasn't in. Yeah, he wasn't in the
Michael
movie.
Pena.
Yeah, Michael Pena. So I think that was one of the big takeaways that a lot of people are like, well, how come Michael Pena wasn't in it? And it's like, well, relax. He'll probably show up eventually.
They should put him in one of the. Didn't they have like a couple different after credits for this one?
Yeah, they did. So they had 2. So
don't get up and leave when the names start rolling.
yeah, no, don't. I mean, but I think at this point, people, if you don't realize that when you go to a Marvel movie, you better stay until the lights turn on, because
Yep.
there's always
That's always the cue. If they don't flip the lights up, then you know there's something coming.
Oh man, I wanted to talk about this. We saw this story today on the big show, and so Ray Buffer, people may recognize, he was in the Bullet Train.
Let's get ready to that guy.
No, different guy, not Bruce Buffer.
Bruce.
Although I was like, it's Bruce Buffer. This is Ray Buffer though. Ray Buffer was in Bullet Train, a couple other minor roles, but this guy got in trouble because he stole some comics from a comic book store.
Dude.
In San Diego, he stole $600 worth of comic books, and they got him on camera. He is now facing trial, which he is saying that he is innocent. So he is on camera. TMZ got him. The story got released on TMZ early this morning that, he'll be going to trial. But they clearly see him on camera robbing some comics.
Did they not pay him enough on Bullet Train?
I guess not. And he had a very minor role, right? But I'm just like, dude.
Which one was he on Bullet Train?
I was trying to go back and remember which one he was. He was obviously one of the ones that probably got killed in like the first couple minutes. But, I mean, I was trying to go back and look at some of it, very minor roles. But what's catching the headlines is this dude tried to steal $600 worth of comics.
Dude, I mean, great that he's reading comics, but pay for them, man.
Come on,
man. Stores are having a hard enough time. We don't need to stealing our stuff.
And like you said, I was like, come on, Bullet Train. Y'all couldn't give him like a stipend or something? Like, hey, man, thanks for sticking around. Here's some catering and maybe go buy yourself some comics or something.
Or put that in his contract. He gets $600 worth of contract or comics for every movie he does.
So it looks like next month they'll be going to trial for this, for the $600 that was stolen in comics. So, I mean, it's good he's reading.
Was it a bunch of comics, or was it some of the older ones worth money? Or
it says it was quite a few. They didn't really go into the specifics. They just gave the dollar amount that was $600 worth. So who knows if it was limited editions or if it was just, I'm going to just grab this stack and run. So,
as long as it wasn't Peanuts or Dick Tracy or anything dumb like that.
And then of all places, San Diego is where this happens. So it's like, come on, man. So, well, Ray Buffer, you're now going to be no more for this than you are for Bullet Train. So, and we still don't know which character you played. I'm going to have to watch that again on Netflix to see who he was.
I had to put his picture up at the front door. Ray Buffer, you're not allowed to come in here.
He's not allowed to enter this door. That is perfect. Oh, Ray Buffer is not allowed. Check Ray Buffer if he walks into this store. Oh, man. Let's get to some rumors, man. And one rumor that has been going on for a while, and it goes back to that whole, they don't make the movies like they used to, and they don't do this. But apparently, Robert Downey Jr. returning to Marvel. This has been an ongoing debate, and many people are speculating that Robert Downey Jr. could be returning as Iron Man. After Ant-Man and the Wasp, and obviously the variants, many think that Robert Downey Jr. will appear in Marvel.
Iron Man was the one that kicked it all off, and there's only so many people that were like born for their role, and he was born for Tony Stark, just like Ryan Reynolds was born to be Deadpool.
Yeah,
and those are only two I can think of off the top of my head that I really can't picture anybody else doing the role. So I wouldn't hate the fact that he's coming back.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little weird because, like, even in the cartoon series that they had, I mean, him not voicing, in What If,
it throws you off.
But I just don't know. But then again, you got these variants, so you do open up the possibility to get a Tom Cruise Tony Stark, a different Tony Stark. But I mean, should we just let his swan song be Avengers Endgame? And hey, Tony, thank you, but you know, obviously, if they need the help, I'm sure Robert Downey Jr. will come helping.
I mean, yeah, maybe they'll bring him back just in a cameo. I'm not sure he wants to completely reprise that role.
Mhm.
And I'm not against Tom Cruise being like a superior Iron Man character because I think he would fit that role pretty well.
Yeah.
And if you can imagine an even douchier Iron Man, that's superior Iron Man.
Well, there you go. And I mean, to get Tom Cruise, I mean, Tom Cruise would just have to channel in that character from Tropic Thunder.
Or just be himself.
Oh, there you go. So see, there you go. Tom Cruise, it was meant for you. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, as much as we would like to see it happen, I mean, I'm sure we'll get a cameo here and there. There was also been talks of him voicing the AI for Ironheart, just coming up with different scenarios for Robert Downey Jr. And I don't know. I have to wait and
Yeah,
see
if
what
I'm
happens.
not mistaken, in the comics, he is the AI voice for Riri, so that
Yeah.
wouldn't be too far out of uh, reality. I could see that, but I think Ironheart's one of the ones they pushed down the schedule when
Mhm.
they decided to scale down a little bit. So
Yeah.
might
And
not happen for a while.
that was the tease. I mean, that was the surprise I was hoping for in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I mean, as much as everybody's like, "Oh, who's gonna show up and who's gonna do this?" I thought we were gonna get more of the voice from Robert Downey Jr. than we were anything. I did not expect for it to be Michael B. Jordan, but I mean,
Yeah, and they kept that pretty well hidden too because when he popped up, I was like, I don't remember reading about this. So,
yeah, because Tom Holland wasn't on set. That's why.
or Mark Ruffalo,
Uh, I know, right?
our leak
Man, it's
sources.
so, yeah, Robert Downey Jr., if he does return, we'll see in what form he does, whether it's the voice version, whether it's an appearance, hologram. I don't know. But it would be great to see him there. But also, I mean, we're going to start moving into a different storyline. And I think this is where you're going to really start to see how much the fans are really digging these different storylines that they've talked about. I mean, you always see them at Comic Cons, like, this is the next phase. But then now here we are at Ant-Man and Quantumania, and people are just like, "Oh, this isn't great."
I'd like to see a Nick Fury origin movie with Samuel
Oh,
Jackson.
man, that would be good. And A Secret Invasion is actually one that I think people need to be on the lookout for because I think that's going to be a very promising show when it goes to Disney Plus. Because I'm just I think it's going to be kind of cool to see more. I mean, it's going to be weird not having Samuel L. Jackson use the F word, but I mean,
I mean, they've already teased it. We've seen the Skrulls already
mhm,
acting like him. What was it in Captain Marvel? So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, they've already laid the groundwork. I'm hoping they'll go heavy on the Skrulls and maybe even bring in the Kree Skrull War because the Kree are responsible for a lot of bad things. So let's see. They showed the blue body on Agents of Shield, if I remember right, the TV series. They had a Kree body they were doing an autopsy on. So they've laid the groundwork there too.
There's just many different ways that they can, address the story. I mean, and then, from their TV series to their movies, there's so much going on. I'm also kind of wondering what's going to happen with a sequel to Shang-Chi, because that's another thing that I was waiting for was, was there going to be some relation to the first one to this movie? Man, do they just kind of get you wondering, like, what's going to be
Yep.
next?
Yeah, they left you hanging because they were hinting that the rings were Shatari
Mhm.
origin. So there, a lot of bad stuff can happen there too. You saw what happened when they visited New York.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of like, I don't know. It's good that we're going at the pace we're going, but also we're just kind of like, oh, okay. And then I'm waiting for another season of Loki, and then it's
Yeah.
there's quite a bit.
Yeah, you should probably watch Loki again before you go see Ant Man,
Yeah,
because I know they tie in a lot together with Kang and Loki and the whole TVA.
yeah. So there you go. That's a good reminder for people who haven't seen it yet. Go see Loki first. And
See
Loki,
some
it
more
seemed like
Owen Wilson.
it's been forever since to realize that came out a year ago.
Yeah,
I was like, man, where's the time gone, right?
yeah. I just want to, and you know what? A movie about Owen Wilson's character, Mobius, would be great too.
Oh, that would be a good one, huh?
Wow.
You play a drinking game. How many times does he say wow?
He didn't say it once in the Loki series.
He did it?
No, I sat there with my pen and paper through the whole series trying to write down every time. Not once.
Wow. Meanwhile,
Exactly.
meanwhile, in some of his other movies, if you were to play that game, you'd be drunk 30 minutes into the movie.
How did it end? I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I blacked out after the credits started. I don't know what's going on. Like they showed the title of the movie and I was done. Uh let's talk about somebody that we hope they'll get it right. DC. Okay. We're hoping they'll get it right. You know, James Gunn is, putting a lot of faith into what he's got planned out. But one thing that came out and saw this in the headlines, the return of Wonder Woman. Now it looks like they're in talks to maybe have Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman return, even though her character's on hold. They're saying there's a possibility that her character could return later down the line.
Yeah, I hadn't read that. That's good. Well, Henry Cavill's out.
Yeah.
But supposedly the new Flash movie, Affleck is in there a little bit.
Okay.
And Keaton's in there from the trailer. but James Gunn said the Batman in this universe, his universe, is not going to be a guy that we've seen before. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to make a cameo, but he's bringing in somebody new to be Batman in his universe.
See,
so
and I was wondering if this isn't more legal ramifications as to why, we mentioned Henry Cavill, we mentioned Ben Affleck, we mentioned Gal Gadot. Because if you remember, whenever they said that they were fired, they were going to sue them because they had did so many years that they had promised.
Yeah, so, they had contracts.
I mean, that's a 7-year contract. I mean, Gal Gadot could be doing Fast and Furious 2600, and instead, she decided to go be Wonder Woman. And now it's, I'm wondering if this is kind of them taking it back a little bit and says, okay, we don't have anything for you yet, but you're going to stay with us. Something will happen eventually.
Yeah. Maybe they're going to be in, because I know they're using Flashpoint as their reset. They want to reset the whole. James Gunn said basically everything came before him is garbage, and he's going to reset it.
Because he
got a little bit of hot water for that one.
But you got to applaud the guy. I mean, he's that confident in his work.
I mean, they came to him.
Yeah,
he didn't go to them; they came to him.
Yeah,
and he did good for Suicide Squad with them. So I got to imagine he's going to do the same with DC. Get rid of, even with Ezra Miller being in this new Flash, there's still a lot of hype for it. A lot of people are wanting to see it. Can you imagine if Ezra Miller wasn't crazy and had all this controversy, how much people would be talking about the Flash?
I think, minus the crazy, this could have been the makings to kind of think of to kind of ramp it up to where it's like, this is your starting point, kind of like how the very first Iron Man was for a long list of successful movies. This could have been that possibility, but he's a little crazy.
No, he's a lot crazy.
I mean, yeah, right. Allegedly, we got to say that word, okay? Allegedly, allegedly crazy. Yeah, if you don't say allegedly, but
he can sue me. I'm saying it. You're crazy.
But I don't know. I think they could have started something, and even to have that multiverse of just different. I mean, it's kind of cool to see Michael Keaton back in the suit, but how much further they can expand on that world. Would we get a Danny DeVito Penguin return or
Ooh, yeah.
I mean,
and maybe bring in some of the TV series Robin Lord Taylor's Penguin.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many ways they could have spun this thing that, I don't know. We'll have to trust it to see how it does. I mean, I am looking forward to the next Shazam movie. Just because I'm wondering, it's family. You gotta love it in the trailer that he's like, it's like every Fast and Furious movie. It's about family. Hey,
guys.
Hey, I mean, you know what though? You gotta give it to them because they know that movie is coming, and they're like, how do we fit in a Fast and Furious reference just to attract some people that may not even care for a superhero movie?
Yeah, and he does. Zachary Levi does so well acting like a 12-year-old. Because, dude, he had me sold. I'm like, yeah, that's 12.
Hey, isn't he looking a little bit older though?
Yeah, he does age. He's not. He has no Paul Rudd blood.
Right. Man, even Marvel's got the good blood.
You need to switch universes, dude.
It's like, dude, you get younger if you're a part of Marvel. I mean, look at Chris Evans. Chris Evans is going to live forever.
I think they're vampires.
Maybe, I don't know, but they're looking really good.
Ugh.
So I saw a Seth Rogen interview where he says at one point, he said Paul Rudd was older than me. I don't know where we laughed. Where did I pass him? I passed him in age. I was like, because he's the world's sexiest man. That's why.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think Seth Rogen's ever going to get that title.
Never. I think Jonah Hill has a better chance at that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I got to agree.
So were you a fan of Wayne's World back in the day?
Yes.
Did you see what Dana Carvey got everybody talking about? A possible Wayne's World 3.
I did not. I've been out of the loop for a little while.
He's been matching colors.
Yeah, I've been painting.
So check this out. This is okay. So they're saying following a cryptic image that they shared of Garth, Dana Carvey enthusiast. They're saying that Mike Myers may be ready to film a Wayne's World 3. There is a photo of Dana Carvey taking a picture of Mike Myers dressed up.
Wow.
And they had like a scene and everything in the back. I wish I could have pulled it up, but it was like, wait, what is this? And they're saying it's a cryptic message that either they're doing a commercial or it could be another movie.
As long as they had the Mirthmobile in it. That's the important part.
Oh my gosh, those are just one of those movies I remember growing up and watching, like when there was nothing on. Yeah, oh man, Party on Garth. Like I love that movie. And like even my wife was just like, hey, there's nothing on this. Throw on Wayne's World. I'm like, such a random throwback, but okay. So,
but you can't turn the channel once it starts.
Nope. So thank you,
You're
good
mesmerized.
Thank you, good old HBO. I don't care if it's 1 or 2. I'll watch them, even though I did kind of prefer 1 over 2. But
yeah,
still.
as long as they don't remake Cat in the Hat with Michael Myers.
Yeah, that's the remake we don't need.
Yeah, that's his Tooth Fairy.
Since I showed off this sign earlier today, I thought we'd talk a little bit about Super Mario Brothers. So April 7th, the movie is going to be coming out. We're seeing more and more visuals of what we could be looking forward to. So I'm kind of excited. So I think they may be onto something. It seems like fans are really getting behind the Mario movie, much to Chris Pratt not sounding like what we would have thought.
Hey, it's me, a Mario.
I can't help
but like I said, they have other great actors. I mean, Jack Black is doing Bowser, which I didn't recognize the voice right off.
Yeah,
isn't Charlie Day doing Luigi?
Which I think is a perfect combination right there of a scared character being Charlie Day.
Yeah. And I mean, and there's a couple of other big names I don't remember off the top of my head. That
Donkey Kong is going to be Seth Rogen.
Oh,
so we get the laugh with Donkey Kong. So yeah, no man, it's looking promising. They're hoping for a nice takeaway after the success of Sonic the Hedgehog, which is crazy to think some of these classic games are now going to be some movies that we get to go and enjoy.
Well, look at Last of Us on was it HBO?
Yeah,
that series is the video game wasn't bad, but whoever's writing this series is just grabbing you by the heartstrings and tugging hard. Man, I haven't felt so many different emotions watching that series in a long time.
Oh man, and I think it's just because I like what's his name? Oh man, I'm blanking his name out right now.
Pedro
Pascal is awesome.
That guy's everywhere right now.
Man, I was gonna ask you. So I've been trying to remember. There was a movie that him and Nicolas Cage did. What was the name of that movie? We talked about it too, and so this thing has been making its way around TikTok lately, where they're saying it's like, how my wife looks at me or how I look at my wife. And this picture here, I'm gonna pull it up because this picture keeps popping up everywhere.
Yeah, I've seen that movie and I can't think of the name.
I can't remember. And I was like, I need to see the movie that this was in because I forgot he did the movie with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, we could actually play instead of the 9 degrees of Kevin Bacon. We could play the 9 degrees of Nick Cage.
I mean, I think at some point either you've ran into him, heard a story about him, or you know somebody that happened to have dinner
He's
with
acted
him.
with everybody. Was that the movie where Pedro Pascal's character hired him to come for his birthday?
Yes.
And was the impossible weight of something? I don't know.
Oh
I
my
thought
God.
that movie was hilarious. If you haven't
Anybody
seen it.
watching this, if you can remember the title of that movie, I was just taking Pedro Pascal and Nicolas Cage. I was getting nothing. I'm like, I'm just getting pictures of the guys. I was like, no, what's the name of the movie?
Yeah, go to IMDb. Yeah, it's the name of the movie is like a whole sentence long. It's the impossible weight of something being famous or something.
The unbearable weight of massive talent.
That's it.
The unbearable weight of massive talent. Okay, no wonder I couldn't find it. I'm just like, what the heck is this? Like, is this an article or what's going on?
Yeah, that movie is underrated. It is it's very meta, and he has no problem poking fun at himself. He does a great job.
It's hilarious, and I've been seeing that Pedro Pascal scene where it's like the way you look at me and it's his face. So,
yeah, like I said, he was Game of Thrones, Mandalorian. Now he's got The Last of Us. Dude is just everywhere. He's a hot commodity.
And by the way, if you didn't see him on Saturday Night Live, hilarious.
Oh, the Super Mario skit.
Oh my gosh, like it's me, Mario. Like it's funny, like it's Mario Kart. Like, come on, man. Like,
why do you need the mushrooms? Make me feel big, okay?
Did you know there was actually a petition to get him to replace Chris Pratt?
I would watch a dark version of Mario Brothers. We've had Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and you had the the Banana Splits was basically they had a dark version of that one. So come on, why not?
Give us the dark Mario. We'll be good. I mean, we got a dark version of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Why not a dark version of Mario Brothers?
Yeah, mushroom addicted Pedro.
Oh my gosh!
You can dodge it. No, it's a red one.
No, it's not a red one. You never hit the red ones. Before we get out of here, what else you guys got going on? Comic-Con in El Paso. I see you guys have been doing some ticket giveaways online.
Yeah. If you go to, I try to put it on all of our sites. The ticket giveaway, just it's real easy. Just to enter. You have to enter your email. Go like us on YouTube. Like us here and there. No cost to enter. So just go enter, and we give away a free pair of single day tickets to El Paso Comic-Con. And if you can't pick them up in the store, we'll mail them to you.
No, that works. It's just enough time too, because it's not that far away. When is El Paso Comic-Con?
April 21st to 23rd.
It's crazy to think that we're almost done with February, man. Like, I'm like, what the heck happened?
It's sneaking up on us.
It really is.
Sneaking up on us.
And
we got Anime Con, an Anime El Paso coming up. And I haven't announced any of the people we signed yet, but we have signed, off the top of my head, no less than 12 anime voice actors, and they're all pretty recognizable. So I think that one's going to be a big one too, coming up in June. So don't sleep on the anime.
And you're going to keep everybody busy over the next couple of months, man. So you definitely got a lot going on.
Trying to bring the nerd to the Southwest.
We are rising, everybody. It is time for us to finally take over.
It is our time.
It is our time. 2023 is our year.
No better time to be a nerd.
If they want to keep up with you on the socials, how can they stay in touch with you guys?
We're all over interwebs. We got, where's my camera? There we go.
I know, right? You're not on your phone.
We got the Twitter. We got YouTube. We got Facebook. We got the Insta and TikTok.
What if I told you someone's starting to call it Sta?
Did they? I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. But if it happens, then hey, we were ahead of the curve.
On the IG.
I know on the good. Oh my
Or
god.
just start doing gang symbols to say what it is.
This is Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
Facebook.
There you go, Facebook. Oh my god. And TikTok.
Oh, of course.
Oh my gosh. If you guys want to follow me on TikTok, you guys can go to Joey on the FM. Instagram, it's Big Show FM. And what did we say Facebook was? Oh, Facebook.
Facebook.
Facebook. Hot 103's Big Show. We don't even got no
You
books
do.
in here.
I'm holding the phone, so I can't do the two-handed book thing.
Oh, that's right, huh? Okay, we'll have to
Like
remember
the
that.
all hands, the Allstate people.
Oh my gosh, guys, this has been another edition of Zia Comic Weekly, where we nerd out for half an hour. You guys can catch us here every Thursday. Until then, we'll see you next week.
Later, nerds.